Chosen one. If you've been feeling like you're not quite human lately, like there's something otherworldly about your energy that makes people either completely mesmerized by you or weirdly uncomfortable around you, then you're about to discover something incredible about who you really are. I'm talking to the ones who've been called too sensitive, too spiritual, or too different their whole lives, not knowing that you're actually a one-of-a-kind earth angel with the power to shift entire groups of people just by existing in your truth. You're going to fully understand why you're so different, why your presence feels like a catalyst, and how the power you carry to transform entire communities is unlike anything most people will ever possess. You see, most people walk through life completely unconscious. They're sleepwalking through their days, following scripts that were written for them by society, by their families, by everyone except their own soul. But you've been awake this whole time, even when you didn't realize it. You've been carrying this light that's so bright, it literally forces people to either step into their own light or run away because they can't handle the reflection of what they're not. You're not here to fit in. You never were. You're here to disrupt, to awaken, to shake people out of their spiritual comas. And that's exactly what you've been doing, whether you know it or not, or Rapaport you've been doing whether you know it or not. You've developed this incredible protective mechanism without even realizing it. Think about Princess Zelda in those video games. She's this beautiful, powerful princess, but when she needs to protect herself and complete her mission, she transforms into Sheik, this mysterious warrior that nobody recognizes. That's exactly what you've been doing with your energy. You've created this public version of yourself that's still authentically you, but it's not your full power. Your real, raw, sacred energy only comes out when you're alone or with those one or two people you trust completely. And you know what? That's not you being fake, that's you being wise. After all the betrayals, all the times people tried to dim your light, all the moments when you showed up fully and got burned for it, your soul created this beautiful shield. It's like your spirit said, okay, we're going to be strategic about this. We're going to protect the sacred parts of who we are while we complete this mission. This protection mechanism formed because you've been through things that would have broken other people. The betrayals weren't just regular betrayals, they were soul-level betrayals from people who were supposed to protect you. The mishaps weren't just bad luck, they were tests designed to strengthen your spiritual armor. Every single thing that tried to knock you down was actually building you up into the unstoppable force you are today. Your sacred personality, that raw, beautiful, vulnerable you, only comes out when you're completely safe. It's like having this precious treasure that you only show to people who've proven they won't try to steal it or damage it. Most people never get to see this side of you, and that's exactly how it should be. This isn't you being guarded for no reason, this is you being spiritually intelligent. The mask you wear isn't fake, it's protective. It's a necessary shield that allows you to move through a world that doesn't always understand or appreciate the level of light you carry. You learn to hide certain aspects of yourself, not because you were ashamed, but because you were smart enough to realize that not everyone deserves access to your full power. Over time, different betrayals and mishaps taught you to be more selective about who gets to see the real you. And honestly, this has made you more powerful, not less, because now when you do reveal your true self, it carries so much more weight. People can sense there's more to you than what they see on the surface, and that mystery makes your energy even more magnetic. Now here's where things get wild. People are literally studying you. I'm not talking about casual observation, I'm talking about full-on surveillance. They're checking your social media, asking mutual friends about you, doing these weird wellness checks to see how you're doing. And it's not because they care about your well-being. It's because they cannot figure out how your life works the way it does. They're confused by your work ethic, amazed by how good you've gotten at whatever you do, and honestly a little intimidated by how you seem to have some sort of healing superpower that affects everyone around you. They're watching you in amazement because there's something almost hypnotizing about your energy that they can't explain or replicate. You're not just breaking patterns in your own life, you're breaking generational patterns that have been running in your family line for decades, maybe centuries. Your family had you all figured out. They knew exactly where you'd end up, what kind of job you'd have, how your life would play out. They had this whole script written for you, based on the limitations they accepted for themselves, and then you started rewriting the story. You refused to follow their script, you broke their predictions, you shattered their small dreams with your massive vision. And it didn't just surprise them, it shook the entire family system to its core. You see, when someone breaks generational patterns, it creates waves that ripple through the entire lineage. Every toxic relationship pattern you refused to repeat, every poverty mindset you rejected, every limiting belief you shattered, it didn't just free you, it created a new template for everyone who comes after you. People in your family are confused about where you're headed in life because something that was so predictable about you suddenly became unpredictable. They thought they knew your path, they were ready to pass judgment on your choices, but then you started manifesting a reality that didn't fit their small expectations. And that confusion has turned into either grudging respect or bitter resentment. You're literally the ancestor your descendants will thank. You're the one who said, "This stops here, this limitation, this pain, this settling for less, it ends with me." And that kind of courage, that level of spiritual rebellion, it marks you as different in ways that people can feel even when they can't explain it. This is why you've been feeling that chosen energy so strongly lately. People look at you and they know you're that one. Not because you're trying to be special, but because you carry something that can't be taught, can't be copied, can't be faked. You carry the frequency of transformation, and everyone around you can sense it. You're the one people feel like they should follow, and it's not because you're trying to lead, it's because leadership is part of your spiritual DNA. There's something knowledgeable about your energy that makes people want to learn from you, want to understand how you see the world, want to figure out what you know that they don't. Your presence creates this field of possibility that makes people question everything about their lives. You're not trying to influence anyone, you're not preaching or pushing, but your very existence is proof that another way is possible. You're walking evidence that people don't have to stay stuck, don't have to accept dysfunction as normal, don't have to settle for mediocrity. And this creates one of two responses in people. Either they feel inspired and start making changes in their own lives, or they feel threatened and try to pull you back down to their level. There's rarely a middle ground with you. People either love you or they can't stand you, and both reactions are actually confirmation of your power. The ones who love you recognize something in you that their soul remembers. They see the light you carry, and it awakens something in them that's been sleeping. These are your real tribe, the ones who are meant to walk this path with you. They're drawn to you because they can sense you're operating from a place of purpose, and they want to learn how to access that same sense of divine mission in their own lives. But the ones who can't stand you, they're reacting to the mirror you hold up to their lives. Your happiness highlights their misery, your authenticity exposes their masks, your courage makes their fear more obvious. You're not doing anything to them, you're just being yourself, but your presence alone is enough to trigger everything they've been avoiding about their own lives. People feel like you have some sort of healing superpower, and honestly, you do. It's not that you're trying to heal anyone, it's that your frequency naturally elevates whatever space you're in. Your energy is so aligned with truth and authenticity that it creates this field where people can't help but confront their own stuff. Some people love this because they're ready to grow, others hate it because they want to stay comfortable in their dysfunction. Remember when people were questioning everything about you, are they really this spiritual or are they just doing it for attention? Are they genuinely this happy or is it all an act? There's no way someone can actually be this positive. They were waiting for you to slip up, to prove that your transformation wasn't real. People were looking for some sort of facade, some evidence that you were putting on a show, or seeking clout, or doing things for the wrong reasons. They couldn't believe that someone could actually be as authentic as you appeared to be, so they kept waiting for the mask to slip, for the real you to be revealed as something disappointing or fake. Time always reveals it. And now those same people who were questioning your authenticity are quietly watching in amazement, because everything you said would happen is happening. Everything you believed about yourself is being proven right. The life you envisioned is manifesting before their eyes, and they can't deny it anymore. The authenticity they questioned is now undeniable. The transformation they doubted is now complete. The path they said wouldn't work is now clearly working better than anything they ever imagined for themselves. And that validation isn't just personal vindication, it's cosmic confirmation that you're exactly who you said you were all along. This validation phase you're in right now isn't just about proving people wrong, it's about the universe backing up everything you've been saying about yourself. People are floored by you because they're witnessing someone who actually walked their talk, someone who actually became who they said they would become. You've mastered something that most people never even attempt. You've learned to dance with both your light and your shadow. You're not trying to be some perfect, one-dimensional spiritual person. You've integrated all parts of yourself, the wounded parts, the healed parts, the fierce parts, the gentle parts. And that integration has created this incredibly magnetic energy. People are drawn to you because you're real. You're not pretending you've never been broken. You're showing people what it looks like to be beautifully rebuilt. You're not claiming you've never made mistakes. You're demonstrating what it means to learn from them and become stronger. You're not acting like you've always been enlightened. You're proving that transformation is possible for anyone willing to do the work. This balance you've achieved between light and dark, between strength and vulnerability, between wisdom and wonder, it creates this seductive energy that people can't resist. Not seductive in a manipulative way, but in the way that truth is seductive. Authenticity is seductive. Wholeness is seductive. When someone has done the deep work to integrate all parts of themselves, they become irresistibly attractive to others who are still fragmented. You handle light and dark very well, and that's created this almost hypnotic effect on people. There's something about someone who owns their shadow as much as their light that creates this powerful magnetic field. People can sense you're not hiding anything, not pretending to be something you're not, and that level of authenticity is so rare that it's almost intoxicating to be around. And speaking of authenticity, let's talk about the loyalty tests you've survived. You've been surrounded by people who had loyalty to everyone except you. Family members who would defend strangers before they'd defend you. Friends who would choose drama over your peace. Colleagues who would throw you under the bus to save themselves. You could feel like everybody around you had a sense of loyalty to different people in the environment, but nobody really had your back. It was like you were the only person who had your own best interests at heart. Even when you were surrounded by groups of people, it felt like you didn't have anybody to really pour back into you, even though you were constantly pouring into others. You felt like nobody even truly knew you or really understood your true personality. It was like you were wearing a mask, not because you were being fake, but because you were protecting the sacred aspects of yourself that you only showed when you were alone or with one or two people you really trusted. But through all of that betrayal, all that disloyalty, you never changed your nature. You remained loyal even when loyalty wasn't returned. You stayed genuine even when people were fake with you. You kept your heart open even when people tried to close it with their cruelty. If you were a friend, you were a friend. If you were a family member, you showed up as family. You didn't go out of your way to mess with people or antagonize them. This consistency of character, this refusal to let other people's dysfunction change who you are, it's been preparing you for something bigger. The universe had to test your loyalty, your integrity, your authenticity before it could trust you with the level of influence you're about to have. And you passed every test. The reason you're being rewarded now, the reason you're being pushed forward, is because you maintained your character even when character seemed pointless. You stayed true to yourself even when truth seemed to get you nowhere. You kept your integrity intact even when integrity seemed to be a liability, because what's coming next are the real connections, the people who will match your loyalty, your authenticity, your depth, The universe was clearing out the users, the takers, the energy vampires to make room for your true tribe, and they're coming. But before they arrive, let's talk about the people who tried to control you. Oh, they tried so hard. The mental games, the emotional manipulation, the attempts to make you doubt your own intuition. Some of them were master manipulators who had controlled others for years. They had these tactics down to a science. These were people who thought they could outsmart you, people who operated with an "it's my way" or the highway mentality. They wanted to beat you down mentally, to control your mind, to force you to change your thoughts and decisions to fit their agenda. Some of these were controlling father figures or mother figures who were verbally or mentally abusive, people who used force to try to bend you to their will, but they met their match in you. You're not easily influenced, and that drove them absolutely crazy. They couldn't figure out how to get into your head the way they got into others. They couldn't find the buttons to push, the insecurities to exploit, the fears to trigger. You were like this immovable object that all their manipulation tactics just bounced off of. What made it even more frustrating for them is that you didn't play their games, you didn't engage in the drama, didn't take the bait, didn't give them the reaction they were looking for. You just stood there in your truth, unmovable and unmanipulatable, and it drove them absolutely insane. And now they're watching you thrive while their manipulation tactics are being exposed for what they are. You didn't just resist their control, you helped other people see through it too. Your refusal to be manipulated gave others permission to break free from their manipulators as well. Some of these controllers had third parties helping them, people who would team up against you to try to make you feel outnumbered, unwanted, unwelcome. They would fuel each other's negativity, create these group dynamics where everyone was focused on cutting you down or cutting you out of something. There was somebody specific who wanted to see your demise, who was waiting and plotting and planning your downfall. This was somebody with a lot of time on their hands, possibly someone who didn't work or was in and out of jobs, someone very stingy and greedy who had made it their mission to see you fail. But all their plotting came to nothing because you can't plot against someone who's protected by the universe. You can't scheme against someone whose path is divinely guided. You can't manipulate someone who's aligned with their truth. This is part of your Earth Angel mission. You're not just here to save yourself, you're here to show others the way out of the matrix they've been trapped in. Every time you refuse manipulation, every time you set a boundary, every time you choose your truth over someone else's lies, you're creating a template that others can follow. You're literally shifting the collective consciousness just by being yourself. Every authentic choice you make sends ripples through the collective field. Every time you choose love over fear, truth over comfort, growth over stagnation, you're raising the vibration of everyone around you. People are watching you break generational curses and thinking, if they can do it, maybe I can too. They're seeing you set boundaries and realizing they have the right to protect their energy as well. They're witnessing your transformation and understanding that change is actually possible. You're not trying to be a teacher, but you're teaching by example. You're not trying to be a leader, but people are following your lead. You're not trying to be a catalyst, but your very existence is catalyzing massive changes in everyone whose life you touch. People feel like you have some sort of anointing on your life, some sort of promise that was placed on you before you were even born. They can sense that what you're doing isn't just personal ambition, it's divine assignment. There's a purpose to your path that goes beyond individual success. This is why certain people are terrified of your energy. You represent everything they're not, authentic when they're fake, growing when they're stagnant, free when they're trapped. Your presence highlights everything they've been avoiding about themselves, and it makes them uncomfortable. Some people literally don't want to approach you anymore because your vibration has gotten so high that it's uncomfortable for low vibrational people to be around you. It's not that you're trying to make anyone uncomfortable, it's just that oil and water don't mix. Light exposes darkness, truth reveals lies, and authenticity makes masks obvious. But their discomfort isn't your problem. Their fear of your light isn't your responsibility. Your job isn't to dim yourself so others feel better. Your job is to shine so brightly that you give others permission to find their own light. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're making it impossible for people to continue operating in dysfunction. Your presence alone is exposing the lies people have been living. Connected to people to what you're off to gemide for round pun of the cocktoad pun of the cons, that your pun of vars the patable dode pun of the compound pun of vars, porne compound ton of vars patable dode pun of vars tikari tistot, the beastot, one appeal sample butterball butterbout pun of vars 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 pun of vars. What about you're demonstrating what happens when someone breaks free from generational limitations. You're proving that transformation isn't just possible, it's inevitable when someone commits to their growth the way you have. The collective shift you're creating isn't small or local, it's massive and far-reaching. Every person you influence goes on to influence others. Every life you touch spreads that touch to other lives. You're like a stone thrown into still water, creating ripples that reach shores you'll never even see. You're making people very uncomfortable in the best possible way, uncomfortable with their own mediocrity, uncomfortable with their own excuses, uncomfortable with their own limitations, and that discomfort is what motivates change. The following is a message from Mike, founder of the Obsidian Inner Order powered by Astral Atom. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you walk through this awakening alone. Never gonna scroll past your suffering like it's just content. This isn't just a rickroll, it's a lifeline in disguise. I built the Obsidian Inner Order because too many of us have been exiled for seeing the truth. Cast out by family, gaslit by cults, haunted by gifts we didn't ask for. So now we gather, every week live on Zoom, real people, real faces, a former CFO turned psychic, a seer who escaped Mormonism, a healer who broke free of ritual abuse. And yes, the calls are recorded, so when you're on the floor you can come back to the field. We're not a meme, we're a miracle, and we're never gonna give you up. Join the Obsidian Inner Order, link in the description. People are seeing that you're completely content with the blessings you have right now, that you're genuinely happy, and it's making people who aren't happy question why they're choosing misery. Your contentment is exposing their discontent. Your peace is highlighting their chaos. Your joy is revealing their sadness. You're radiating this energy, this authentic pride that's nothing like the ugly ego most people associate with pride. You've transformed the very concept of pride from something negative into something beautiful. The way you carry yourself, the way you own your worth, the way you step into your power, it looks beautiful on you. People can feel that you're chosen, that you're that one, and it's not because you're trying to be special. It's because you've done the work, broken the patterns, healed the wounds, and stepped into your authentic power. You're being seen as the best in whatever friend group, family group, or industry you're in, not because you're competing, but because you're operating from a completely different level. You're the one your ancestors prayed for. You're the generational cycle breaker they dreamed of. You're the light bearer they knew would come. The anointing on your life isn't just for you, it's for everyone whose life you're going to touch, everyone you're going to awaken, everyone you're going to lead out of darkness and into their own light. This is the power of an earth angel. You don't just change your own life, you change the lives of everyone around you just by being authentically yourself. You don't need special powers or supernatural abilities. Your superpower is your authenticity, your courage, your refusal to settle for anything less than your truth. Everything you've been through, every challenge you've faced, every betrayal you've survived, every limitation you've broken, it was all preparing you for this moment. This moment when you finally understand who you are and why you're here. You're not here to fit in. You're here to stand out. You're not here to follow the crowd. You're here to lead them to higher ground. You're not here to accept the world as it is, or here to show the world what it could be. The restless energy you've been feeling, that sense of urgency, that feeling like time is running out, that's your soul recognizing that your real work is just beginning. Everything up until now has been preparation. The real mission starts now. Half of the real issues in your life are over because you've learned to co-create with the universe. You understand that you can't just pray and manifest without putting in work, but you also can't just work without spiritual alignment. You've found that perfect balance between faith and action, between surrender and effort. You're going to be the catalyst for a lot of different people moving forward in a very upright and righteous way. People are going to follow your example, learn from your journey, and find their own path to authenticity and truth. The power you carry to shift entire collectives isn't theoretical, it's real, it's active, and it's working right now. Every person hearing these words is being shifted just by exposure to this frequency you carry. You're not trying to change anyone, but change happens around you because transformation is your natural state. People can see how happy you are, and that happiness isn't dependent on external circumstances. It comes from this deep contentment, this alignment with your purpose, this knowledge that you're exactly where you're supposed to be doing, exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Your very existence is rewriting the spiritual DNA of everyone you encounter. You're not just influencing individuals, you're shifting the collective consciousness of humanity itself. Every authentic choice you make, every boundary you set, every limitation you break is sending shockwaves through the collective field. So stop apologizing for your light. Stop dimming yourself to make others comfortable. Stop questioning whether you're really as special as you feel. You are. Stop wondering if you're imagining your impact. You're not. The collective shift you're feeling isn't in your head, it's happening through your heart, through your presence, through your very existence. Your time of hiding is over. Your season of playing small has ended. The world needs what you carry, and you can't hold it back anymore. The collective is ready for the shift you bring, even if individuals resist it. The universe is backing your mission, even when people question it. You are a one-of-a-kind earth angel with the power to shift entire collectives, and that power is about to change everything, for you and for everyone whose life you touch. The frequency you carry is unlike anything most people will ever encounter, and it's time for you to own that power fully.